AI has ruined science fiction movies, and shows and video games. The magic and wonder of intelligent technology has been a part of storytelling for 2 centuries now. Imagine a mechanical being, incredible. Computers you can speak to, synthetics yearning for humanity, robots that become conscious, men transformed into machines. We've also had blatant warnings about uncontrolled artificial intelligence trying to exterminate mankind.
And it absolutely will not stop! Ever! Until you are dead!
And stories of man's reliance on the convenience of technology leading to an adorable robot being a far more sympathetic character than humans. But now that this technology is actually here, it's affecting science fiction stories by making them feel more dated in certain ways, but more so by changing our relationship with them. And I am not saying that dated media is bad, I still love this stuff as much as anyone else. Many science fiction concepts break down under even the slightest scrutiny. I mean, criminals can just run away from slow-ass RoboCop, but they don't. We still have fun with the stories though, we can let go of certain logical holes. And we laugh at how technology was shown to be in the future, when they were either incredibly off in their predictions, or the distant future is shown with old clickety-clackety computers from the 1970s. Pretty much any portrayal of the future is bound to become dated at some point when real technology has proved to evolve much faster than anticipated and in unpredictable ways. Carl Sagan tried to avoid this in 2001: A Space Odyssey by imagining an alien civilization so advanced that they'd essentially become ethereal. Can't disprove that anytime soon. While on the other side, 1960s Star Trek sets are so basic and dated that they're really charming. They did the best they could at the time, I'm not judging them, old Star Trek is great, but we know this isn't how it would look. Sometimes the concepts themselves are dated, but often the concept is fine, it's just the execution. It's very believable to show the future having digital readouts of everyone's vitals after cryosleep. But using CRT monitors for the future became outdated by the time flat-screen TVs hit the market. Though it's notable that despite old visions of the future coming across as dated, the aesthetic of retrofuturism has remained a strong artistic style in later generations, with the world of something like Alien Romulus and its 1970s vision of the future being a far more immersive experience than its contemporary counterparts that try to predict the future as accurately as possible. However, through all of movie history, something that never felt dated until the past decade or so, to me at least, was the robot voice.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
They have used their powers of mind control
to gain access to the ship's computer.
The Robinsons belong to me. I will not give up my family.
Oh, thank God, you're all right. You know, being Carolyn taught me a valuable lesson. I thought you were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend.
We've always envisioned that computers and robots that were able to speak would do so in a way that reflected their artificiality. Not in every case, some works of fiction had the foresight to see a future where AI voices were indistinguishable from humans, and as we get into the 2000s and 2010s, we see more accurate representations of AI voices as essentially human voices. But in many cases, something that's AI or programmed to speak is shown to have a robotic nature to it.
I'm sorry. Would you please rephrase the question?
I didn't know it was a man. I didn't know man and clown were the same.
4 crisp yet moist potatoes. Brown on one side, then turn over.
Now we can add this type of voice to the list of things we see in movies and shows that's totally dated. AI voices are already becoming impossible to detect in 2025. There's no way they're gonna sound less convincing in 2125. Unless they're programmed to sound that way, which is not a crazy concept. Vintage things come back into fashion all the time. Jeans used to have holes in them from long-term use. Then they started selling jeans with holes already in them. People are starting to collect vinyl records again. Hell, I predict that once we have mainstream technology that makes smartphone screens impossible to break, people will start buying skins that make it look like their screen is cracked. Just like how going from VHS to digital video and then 4K has led to people going back to VHS technology to make modern music videos. If you did that in 2002, you'd be laughed at for your videos looking cheap. But now the same exact thing is seen as cool because it's now so far removed from the current technology. We've had these AI voice helpers with us for a while now, with Siri and all that. And now that large language models have gone mainstream, and people are talking to ChatGPT or AI partners, and even falling in love with disembodied voices, companies have a lot of incentive to make those voices even more realistic. But you can customize a lot of this stuff too. I don't use an AI assistant myself, but if I did, I wouldn't want it to sound exactly human. I would program it to talk like the computer from TNG because I think it sounds cool.
Site-to-site transport interlocks have been manually deactivated.
It's not impossible that these future super intelligent computers will talk like a 1980s speak and spell, because if the captain of the ship wants it to speak like that, I'm sure it could. Alright, so that addresses the issue of the classic AI voice becoming dated. But what really has me thinking lately is how public opinion towards AI in the real world could change how stories featuring AI are received. When I first saw Her in 2013, I was incredibly moved. I had a long-distance internet relationship for a couple years when I was a kid, so I knew very well what it's like to be in love with the voice and personality of someone who isn't physically there. I related deeply to that movie. But 2013 was a very different time when I wasn't feeling angry about AI causing my friends in creative fields to lose their jobs, or worried about my own job, disgusted by the idea of AI movies eventually ending up in movie theaters, concerned that a generation of children are gonna think they're friends with the AI assistants in their homes and not actually learn anything in school because AI does all the work for them. Upset that I'm close to not being able to tell the difference between an AI YouTube video and a real one. Scared that news and politics around the world are about to be steered by mass AI disinformation campaigns. And annoyed by every single application and website advertising their integrated AI services to me. And yes, I am lumping generative AI, LLMs, and eventual artificial superintelligence all together because it's all part of the same push into the future of intelligent systems becoming integrated into our world. I don't know how charming it is anymore to watch a movie about a sad, lonely man fall in love with his operating system. I know that movie has the right kind of ending, I won't spoil it here, but I used to not find the central premise that off-putting. It's still a great film, but I get some different, conflicting feelings about it now. Even my favorite movie of all time, RoboCop, has gone from movie I loved as a kid because it was violent and cool and RoboCop is just an awesome hero, to movie that is far deeper and more brilliant than I ever realized, to movie I love with all my heart but terrifies me because of how horrible the central premise is. RoboCop isn't something cool. That's a good man whose murder was orchestrated by a greedy corporation who cut his body apart, erased his memory, and turned him into a soulless 24-hour-a-day slave. He's a prototype for the type of police officer that never complains and they don't have to pay. The kind of worker that every company wants to replace their workforce with now.
This guy's really good.
He's not a guy, he's a machine.
What are they gonna do, replace us?
We've been replacing jobs with technology for all of human existence. The cotton gin, car manufacturing, and robot cops. This is nothing new. And now that technology is actually intelligent, and we're facing the mass elimination of entry-level company positions, concept artists, makeup artists, photographers, lawyers, writers, I have to wonder how stories are gonna age that ask us to sympathize with robots. Will upcoming generations see Short Circuit as early propaganda for the acceptance of AI, instead of the heartwarming story of a lovable robot who discovers life and becomes a hero? Will Data's sense of curiosity and desire to acquire human emotions be seen as terrifying once we have actual AIs pretending to be human? What about old video games where you have a robot companion, or in some way are expected to sympathize with an AI character in the story? I remember seeing Bicentennial Man, the story of a robot house servant who upgrades himself over decades trying his hardest to become human. And it made me cry like a baby at the end when Robin Williams goes in front of the board to ask for his certification of humanity. It was a really moving story. But I don't want AI house servants becoming fully sentient. I don't want an AI to get human rights just because they put it inside of a human-looking body. It's weird, I feel weird. I still love these stories, but there's a dissonance in my head now. A small, sour taste that I don't want to be there. But it's there because the world is changing in big ways, really fast. And when technology catches up with the predictions made in fiction, it's gonna change how they resonate with us as we revisit them. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one thinking this stuff, because I don't like to talk about it. I find it uncomfortable and sometimes sad, and I don't like to bring up topics that depress my friends. The anxiety of the moment and the difficult times ahead are gonna change how romanticized concepts feel in past works of fiction born out of ignorance. It's okay, and it's okay to still enjoy them because the things they portray weren't done out of malice. But going forward, we're naturally going to be skeptical of stories that are AI-centered because they're being made in a world where AI isn't some far-off concept, it's here and there are real consequences. AI being everywhere may make it hard to see a new movie that has us rooting for a robot character like we used to. That's how I felt in Companion. I don't want to spoil the movie, it's too recent. You should watch it, it's good. But while I'm expected to sympathize with the main character, and I do to a degree, I also have that thought of this doesn't really matter anyway because AI isn't human. And I don't think I would have felt that way if the same movie had come out 10 years ago. I was talking to a girl last December that I was pretty interested in, and I wrote her a couple paragraphs of my thoughts on a movie she recommended to me. I saw similarities between her and the main character, and I pointed that out. And she responded with something like, "Wow, yeah, that's definitely true. Did you get ChatGPT to write that?" And it's like, man, is that how things are gonna be now? If I express a detailed thought in a text conversation, the authenticity of it is now in doubt because people are using AI to manage their chats, even think for them? And does that mean she's using AI to respond to me? If so, I'm out. It's actually the first time I've ever been happy that I'm on the older side, because I'd hate to be going through this as a kid. If you are a kid, good luck to you. You're entering a pretty crazy place. I wish I had some great conclusion to this video, advice, or some grand revelation, but I don't. It's just how I feel, and maybe you feel the same, or maybe you feel differently. But I wanted to get it out there because this is just the beginning. Like, subscribe, Patreon, Twitch, all that stuff. Thanks.